Here is the back gate that you saw at the end of the last video. We go in, there's the back door on the right, and one of many water butts and the wheelie bins. Right at the end you can just see the herb garden. There's not much in it at the moment, because of course it's the wrong time of the year for lots of herbs. As we turn right we can see the garden gate. To the right of the garden gate there's the outdoor garden tool shed, and to the left there's my workshop shed. Lovely and tidy now with all this isolation time that we've all had. As we move through the gate, I open the latch, we see the flower beds and the paving around them. In the distance is the conservatory, another water butt, and there are my cuttings. I tend to do cuttings by sticking bits in and putting pop bottles on them. There's the house, the kitchen, the dining room, the lounge and the conservatory, and another water butt. On the left hand side there's a wall, a feature wall, a woodshed with some nice logs in there still. In front of the wall there's a hellebore. Now, this one comes out well before Christmas, and it's still, as you can see, still in flower at this time of the year. Wonderful plants. Just a pity they bend downwards. As we walk along we come to a picket fence which goes all the way around the pond. This was requested by the guide dog people when we had Pickle. It's not to keep the dog out of the pond, because the dogs can swim, but if the dog got in, the lady was frightened that her claws might, not the lady's claws, the dog's claws, might rip the liner to shreds. There's some goldfish, and there are thousands at the moment, thousands of tadpoles in there, little tiny ones, and a solid mass, solid moving mass. Walk along between the picket fence and the conservatory, and we come to a rhododendron and a hosta bed. Obviously there's not much in the hosta bed this time of the year, they're just popping up, just starting to pop up, you can see some there. And as we walk down the lounge on our right, we come to a little picket fence that leads outside. There's the caravan. Remember the caravan from the other side when we came into the house. Turn round, go up by the beech hedge, which is a right mess this time of the year, up towards the greenhouse. The greenhouse is another thing that's been tidied and ready for the next work. There's a nice flower bed, not much in it at the moment. A clematis and a rose on that arch. We turn round past the greenhouse and there's a raised bed that I made a few years ago. Makes it easier to weed and grow things in there, you don't have to bend. Two more woodsheds. I like the woodsheds. Lots of spring flowers are out. There's a nice primula and the path up to the woodshed. This is a cherry tree, really prolific cherry tree, lots of fruit. Have to cage it all in the summer when they're ready. There are two arches that sort of separate the garden along with the wall. There's an apple tree, and at the end we have a fruit cage. This used to be the chicken run. Quick look at the clock as we go along. This used to be the chicken run, but unfortunately the chickens died, apart from one which went to Tony and Lizzie's daughter. Up by the side of the chicken run fruit cage, in the distance you can see the fence is between us and the Carlings. That's their summer house. As we go into the fruit cage, you can see the rhubarb. We've had two lots of rhubarb already out of this, and it just keeps producing more. It's really good plants. And there, back of the shed, and the serried ranks of the raspberry canes. Another little job that isolation's enabled me to do. We come out of the fruit cage. There's a little path which goes up to the right with a couple of steps to a gate which leads onto Usselwell Street. This was one of the first jobs I did, was to actually cut down a laurel tree and produce this gate out onto the street so we could get straight out for little walks. There, looking up towards the Carlings with their delightfully planted back lane. There's our gate, and swing right round, and there's our side of the planting. Back in through the gate, down the little steps, nice handrail to stop you falling off. Close the gate, difficult with one hand on the camera. Turn back towards the garden, but this time instead of going all along, we're going to cut into the laurel hedge. I've made broken here the other week or so, month or so probably now, so that we could storage shed and wheelbarrows and compost heaps all stored there, out of sight, out of mind. Another compost heap, and 200 bricks there that were going to be thrown away from my daughter's house, so being a womble I brought them. There's a picket fence that we used to use as a gate for the dog when we had her. And behind the trees now we are coming to the main junk storage area, apart from those nice chairs. But behind that, lots of wood and netting and all stuff that might come in useful one day. Sneaky way out by the woodshed and the raised bed. There's the house again from the distance. And we're going to go through one of these arches this time. They both lead down to the paved area where we have plants in beds. There we go. That's the kitchen window, you can see, and there's a nice bay tree there, not a bay tree, an olive tree. And finally, this is the other side of the gate, showing the year the house was built, 1980.